I found this voice memo of me singing it for the very first time, and it is such an interesting experience to listen to. I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. The first time that the lyrics are uttered, the first time that they are spoken into the air, rather than just living in your mind, they're so magical.
Keeping patient, scaling isn't a hurry.
I'm struggling. Clearly couldn't play guitar. Oh!
From my car, speakers.
This is the missing verse! So I was just scrolling through my phone for a different video I was going to film, but this is going to be the actual video. So I just posted the song Wreckage, which is a song about kind of being in your feelings, feeling really romantic about the messy things in your life, knowing that you could probably do better or different, but really settling into yourself in what you're in. You're sitting in your feelings. It makes the comparison, like what they see to be wreckage, what they see to be really bad art is like your masterpiece. There's a section at the end that says, I still think fondly of the wreckage in the stairway we created. Broken glasses in their painted frames, expressionistic cases. All the patrons pass and scoff at us in what we call our art. They think they could do much better, standing blinded in the dark. It's just kind of like feeling othered, but being comfortable being the other, being the outcast, but being like, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I love right now. Wreckage is one of the first songs that I ever wrote in general. And I found this voice memo of me singing it for the very first time. And it is such an interesting experience to listen to. I kind of wanted to share that with you guys. This voice memo was recorded in May 24th of 2019, and you can definitely tell I don't know how to play guitar. And you can also tell that I'm a little insecure in my voice and in being heard. You can kind of hear me like whispering the song because I wrote it, but I'm afraid to be heard singing it. Let's listen to this together. Well, I might clip pieces and parts together, but if you want to hear the full uncut version, it'll be available on my Patreon. By the way, thank you to anyone who supports me on Patreon. Join any tier of my Patreon to gain full access to everything. Isn't that just so cute? Like me figuring out what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Like, oh, little Jen. I have so much admiration and love for you.
I like the cold light that spills into my room. It's 8 p.m. I need to stop dwelling on things like you. Loneliness is like a sister to me, or a blanket over top when I sleep. Open my ribcage.
Oh, there we have a little bit of a lyric difference there. I changed the lyrics from open my ribcage to you took my ribcage.
A keepsake for the clutter you left in me.
Isn't it just so intimate to listen to though? Like to hear like this kind of like that's usually how the first draft of my song will sound, because I usually write the instrumental track, I guess you could call it, and then speak the words on top, and then after that then I kind of place them into the notes where they belong. And so the first draft of my songs will sometimes sound a little spoken, kind of like some poetry being read on top of this music. And I really love like to be able to compare that, like the first time that the lyrics are uttered, the first time that they are spoken into the air, rather than just living in your mind, they're so magical. The moment is so magical.
I like the cold nights to bring out something new. Close your memory, no you won't get to own this. I'm keeping patient. Scaling isn't a hurry. Think the remnants I'll sweep the floors I slept on. I'm passing the baggage
didn't even remember I went higher up back then. That's interesting. Oh, I think the reason why I'm singing a little higher up is because back then I couldn't sing in that lower register. Either that or the new version is played at a capo where I don't have to go that low. But I definitely remember this area being higher up right now, specifically because I physically couldn't sing it. Well, hit a wrong note there, but that's okay. We just keep going. I really love all these messy, imperfect moments. I think they're so important to share. So important. Oh, missing verse. So there was another verse written there that's in the full version that I posted earlier this week. Guess what happened here is I finished the song, and then as I was listening to it, I guess I had some more to say. There was a stone left unturned. I mean, I don't make the rules, the song makes the rules, so.
Fantasies in my mind, I know I can't claim I don't love locks on my doors.
I remember when I wrote that line, it was such an experience. Because this song is on volume 1, The Wound, then there's volume 2, The Gods Doesn't Work, and then volume 3, No One's Savior. And over the course of these 3 volumes, you'll see the speaker. I call her the speaker because at this point in time, I'm a much more integrated person, much more integrated sense of self. And I see that as like the wounded version of me that I needed to bring home, that I needed to give love and care and validation to. So I'll refer to her as the speaker. The speaker in this song is reflecting on their life and kind of acknowledging that they don't want to get better yet. And they're just kind of like romanticizing the wounds that they have. That's why you stay in the wound, right? Because you're still attached to it in some way. When I wrote the line, I guess I can't claim I don't love locks on my doors, it's talking about I like being guarded. I like having my walls up. I like that you have to work hard to get to know me. I know no one out there is safe, and I like being an island. That's sort of what that line means. And though it doesn't hold true for me today anymore, back then I remember like kind of celebrating in that moment, being like, yes, this is who I am. Clearly you change, you go through phases, you go through, you know, all these kinds of changes. But I think that there is true beauty and power in recognizing a certain state of being. Like, this is how I feel right now, and that's okay. I'm struggling. Clearly couldn't play guitar. Oh! This is the missing verse! Oh! So I didn't write the verse later, I moved it. Interesting little Jen. Why did we make that decision?
Always looking for another train I can catch, don't override me.
That's another one of my favorite lyrics. I'm always looking for another train I can catch, don't override me, I won't let this define me. Like, that's talking about how you're always daydreaming. You're living life, but your mind is always elsewhere. You're wandering through the world and you're always looking for something else you can think about, always looking for the wonder, always looking for the magic, always looking for like this romantic version of your life and how you can possibly make that version fit more into the real part of your life. And that is something I do identify with today. I am still, to this day, always looking for another train I can catch, another train of thought that I can route myself to. I love that lyric.
Pass through the baggage claim, forgive my overweight care.
And that section is really just talking about like feeling like anytime you go into someone's life, you have so much emotional baggage. You're like, hey, sorry I'm here. I got all this emotional baggage here. I hope I don't bother you with it, bump you with it. I hope you don't feel inconvenienced by the fact that I just got a lot of issues, man.
I think fondly of the wreckage in the stairway we created, broken glasses in the painted frames, expressionistic cases, all the patrons passing scoff at us in what we call our art. They think they can do much better, standing blinded in the dark.
I really love this moment of discovery. Like, I love, love, love to hear like that creative, that just like, it feels like magic watching things like this be born. Like that A minor chord that just came out of nowhere. And it's like, as I was playing it, I was like, no, I don't think that that's where the chord belongs. I think it should be something else. And I love that moment of spontaneous discovery. It's just so beautiful.
Stairway we created, sick wish fulfillment, my mind. I know
I didn't quite know where to end it apparently.
I don't care anymore.
Just still going for it. As a practice songwriter now, like having written for several years, I have a more intuitive and natural sense for where patterns and structure should belong in the writing of a song. But back then I was still just a little old gal just trying to figure things out. It's just really, really incredible to kind of witness that growth. I know that so many people will allow the messiness of their beginning stages to hold them back from continuing to learn, to grow, to be creative. And I really like, that's my mission of this channel, is to really like pull back the curtain of the creative process and demonstrate and show you guys that it's not supposed to be perfect. It is not supposed to be all put together from day one. And if you find yourself trying to be creative and feeling cringy or feeling messy or bad or like, oh, I don't know how to do this yet, that's okay. That is natural. It's a very natural part of the process. And so I really hope in me sharing all of these crazy little first drafty kind of things that you let go of a little bit of your perfectionism, that you let go of the idea that you need to be perfect in order to start doing something you care about, in order to do something that lights you up inside. If you feel the light inside, that's a sign to do it, even if it comes out like kind of crazy or weird. That's the video. You can go listen to Wreckage, linked in the description. If you want to hear the full uncut version of the very first draft, what we listened to and reacted to just now, that is available on my Patreon if you want to join any tier. Until next time.
Always looking for another train I